All right, guys, UFC Fight Night Namajunas versus Cortez just ended, and now I'll give you my reactions and thoughts on every single fight on this card. Starting with Josh Fremd and Andre Petroski. I'm going to skip Evan Elder and Darius Flowers because I was late and I actually missed that part and I didn't really do a prediction for it anyways. So we're going to start with Josh Fremd and Andre Petroski. So to sum this all up, for 15 whole minutes, Andre Petroski was just lying on top of Josh Fremd, not getting any submissions, not really doing much of anything, but definitely lying on top of Josh Fremd. I guess you could call that domination of sorts, but yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I started watching during round 2, and round 2 went exactly like round 3, and the people in my chat were telling me that both those rounds went exactly like round 1. I predicted for Andre Petroski to win by decision, and he won by decision. So anyhow, let's move on to the next one, which was Luana Santos versus Mariya Agapova. So I had picked Mariya Agapova to win. I thought she was better on the feet. However, we didn't really get to see her display much of her skill on the feet because Luana Santos immediately took her down, and it worked for like maybe a minute or two and just choked her out. Rear naked choke. And, you know, my prediction for this was, oh, well, Mariya Agapova hadn't fought for a while. She had a grappling match recently that showed up on her Tapology. So surely she's been working on her grappling. Regardless, we'll get to see her on, work on the feet, and she'll definitely win on the feet, but we didn't get a chance to see anything on the feet. And yeah, Luana Santos got that win by submission. I don't know what to say. I think this is the end for Mariya Agapova. Like, seriously, it was either she wins this or she probably gets cut, and I don't see a bright future for her. Another thing is she also looked not that good at the weigh-ins. Like, she looked kind of out of it. Maybe she's on pills or something. I don't know. But yeah, that was that. The next fight up was with Montel Jackson and Damon Blackshear. I think this was also a last-minute placement because I didn't do a prediction for it. But last minute on my stream, I picked Montel Jackson to win. I actually thought I was going to go to a decision, but he, within like 17 seconds of round 1, just like threw a solid, straight jab that completely wobbled Damon Blackshear, and that guy fell, and it was over that quickly. Everybody was impressed. I was shocked. I mean, not much to say about that other than like, good job, Montel Jackson. Everyone thought this was going to go to decision, and you just proved everybody wrong. That was such a clean shot. So anyhow, nothing too eventful so far. And the next fight up was with Fatima Kline and Jasmine Jasudavicius. So initially, I picked Fatima Kline when I did my prediction video. But then I watched the weigh-ins and I was like, whoa, Fatima Kline looks really out of shape. Like, she looks a little soft. She doesn't look as prepared. Jasmine Jasudavicius looks strong. And I know she has a lot of experience. So I ended up changing my pick, and I let you guys know on a short and on my community tab. So yeah. Jasmine Jasudavicius made Fatima Kline look like she wasn't even a grappler. And I think it was just because she was so much bigger than her. Fatima Kline tried to grapple with her, but Jasmine was just so much stronger. And anytime she ended up on top, it was basically impossible for Fatima to get her off. And she just dominated every single round. And pretty sure she won by decision. So, that was, I guess, pretty easy for her. Fatima Kline did try to box with her a little, did land a little bit here and there, but really this was just like complete domination via strength by Jasmine Jasudavicius. I still don't think she's that good, to be honest, but she's better than Fatima Kline and she's stronger, so she won the fight. The next fight up on the main card was with Abdul Razak Alhassan versus Cody Brundage. So I picked Cody Brundage to win. I thought that he was more scrappy. I thought that he was going to be more persistent and more determined. I And I thought he was going to push through because he's really strong. And he is, but like within a few seconds of the first round, Abdul like was boxing with him. He was pretty quick. And then Cody Brundage kind of immediately shot for a takedown, but was off. And he kind of missed, and his head ended up in a really terrible spot that allowed Abdul to just smash him. So he ended up like elbowing him, punching him. And I think he shot one of his elbows that landed on the back of the head of Cody Brundage. And the ref stopped it, and they were like, oh, whoa, that's illegal. To be honest, it did kind of look like Cody Brundage acquired some sort of concussion, but they spent like a good few minutes talking to Cody Brundage, checking him, seeing if he was all right, and kind of asking him if he wanted to continue the fight. I guess he ended up declining, even though he seemed okay. I don't know, to be honest. Maybe he just really didn't want the heat, because Abdul came in there ready to fight. Like, he was ready to go. He was like definitely kind of pissed that they stopped the fight. But after that beating, Cody Brundage just looked totally like, not man, I don't want any smoke, So the fight ended. It was a no contest, so we'll never know the result of that. The next fight up was with Charles Johnson and our favorite soy boy Joshua Van, who I will probably never endorse again because I picked Joshua Van. And I picked him because he's pretty consistent in all of his fights. The way he fights, he'll start off a little slow, but then he'll pick up the pace very quickly. And his output is extremely solid and reliable. Like he just goes in, he doesn't hesitate, and you can always count on him to counter. But I think Charles Johnson's long limbs were kind of giving him a problem. And I know Charles Johnson was good. I just thought that he would be more kind of intimidated and pressured by Joshua Van, because Joshua Van was putting on a lot of pressure. And I think Joshua Van was slightly winning the first 2 rounds, but I guess he gassed out or something, because in round 3, Charles Johnson just found the perfect opening, and I think he got him with an upper hook. And yeah, that was the end of Joshua Van, because he just fell. And I'm sorry to say this, like, anytime I want to believe in an Asian, unless they're like really good, they got really good grappling or something, on the feet, Asians have shown time and time again that they have like weaknesses. Like, just, I don't know why. Maybe it's because they are so consistent in their patterns, and that makes them predictable, which is not always good, because if your opponent is calculating how you fight and operate, by the end of the fight they know where your openings are going to be. So anyways, Charles Johnson got him. I knew this was going to be a close fight, but like, damn, I really thought Joshua Van was going to get this decision. That was like the logical pick in my head. But anyhow, good for Charles Johnson. Impressive performance from him. And all right, now we move on to Julian Erosa versus Christian Rodriguez. So I had picked for Christian Rodriguez to win. I thought he was going to win by decision. And also, like, Julian Erosa isn't that good. I made this prediction based on the fact that Julian Erosa's like good wins that he had were by accident, and guess what? Today's win was also, I think, an accident, because there was a moment where Julian Erosa was on top of Christian. I was getting kind of worried, but then Christian managed to flip it around, but he got way too excited, and I guess like tried to ground and pound him without like thinking about anything else. And then then Julian Erosa, like, as Christian was smashing him, got him in a choke and ended it that way. And fucking Christian Rodriguez tapped with both hands. Let me show you how he did it. Sorry, my water right here, but he literally, like, with his hands, tapped like this. Like, dude, I was like in such disbelief. Like, you're really gonna let Julian Erosa win by accident again? Anyway, that's what he did. He let Julian Erosa win by accident again. And like, I think had he been a little more careful and a little more cautious when he got that top position and like thought it through a little more, was a little more patient, he wouldn't have gotten choked out by Julian Erosa. Like, even Julian Erosa was surprised. He got up and was like, yeah, no one was expecting that. But anyhow, let's move on to Gabriel Bonfim versus Ange Loosa. More of a boring fight than I had expected. Interestingly, like, I was expecting Gabriel Bonfim to get more takedowns. I was expecting to see some, like, crafty grappling from him. But Ange Loosa seemed to be the one kind of dominating and, like, having his foot on the gas. And he was the one getting takedowns. But he wasn't really winning the exchanges that much. And Gabriel Bonfim was just doing slightly better than him. Ange Loosa is just a really strong guy that's very explosive, but towards the end he was getting tired. And yeah, Gabriel Bonfim was just doing like a little better than him, you know? I think he was just doing a little better in each round, and he like won that by decision. So I don't really have much to say on that. It wasn't that interesting of a fight. But yeah, Gabriel Bonfim won. The next fight up, one of my favorite fights actually, on this card, personally. Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Muslim Salikhov. So I picked Muslim Salikhov to win. But then, because he's just a better fighter, he's more technical. I told you, you guys can go watch my prediction video. I describe everything and like why I chose him in detail. But then I saw Muslim Salikhov on the weigh-ins and I was like, holy shit, he just looks so old and tired. Like, I don't know if I can back this man. And Santiago looked like he was full of energy. But then during my live, before they fought, I was like, you know what? Like, he looks tired, but Santiago doesn't look that good either, to be honest. And I'm going to stick with my... And also, Muslim looked better. He looked better on the walkout. So I was like, you know what? I'm switching my pick to Muslim. And he fought exactly how I had predicted for him to fight. Lots of kicks, super technical, great on the feet, lasted all the way till round 3, and looked amazing. Still shooting accurate shots, like easy decision win for him. And he was the underdog, like at least like plus 200, I'm pretty sure. Maybe even 300. But yeah, like I'm really happy with that pick. That was actually like my proudest pick on this card. But yeah, Muslim Salikhov won, guys. He's just the better fighter, more technical fighter. Like, Santiago was getting beat up by Alex Morono. And the only reason he won against Alex Morono is because Alex Morono gassed out in round 3. Otherwise, he would have lost because his face looked like a red tomato. Anyhow, Muslim Salikhov won. All right, and the next fight up, which was actually the fight before the fight I just mentioned, Drew Dober versus Gene Silva. So initially, I actually picked Gene Silva to win. You know, I saw his performance at 303, and I was really impressed with like how fast he was, how he was dodging spinning leg kicks, which are very difficult to dodge, to be honest. He was dodging them very well. He was looking super slick, full of energy, very tactical. And anyhow, I felt really impressed by his reaction time. And I knew this was going to be a close fight. But then the weigh-ins came around and I put too much emphasis on their face-off, you know. Drew Dober looked extra scary. You know, the look at, he had this psycho look. And to be honest, I guess they both kind of have this psycho look, but the way Drew Dober was looking at Gene Silva and the way he winked at him before he walked off, I was like, oh shit, I might have to change my pick. And also, like, everyone was telling me that Drew Dober is actually like way better than he is. And so I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll change my pick. And so last minute, I changed my pick. I'm going to take the L on that. But initially, I picked Gene Silva, and I will never underestimate that man again. To be honest, I think he like reached a whole new level of respect in a lot of people's hearts because he just performed on 2 fighting cards in a row, won both cards with so much heart and like so much respect. Like the way he was starting each round, fist bumping Drew Dober and then hugging him before one of the rounds, like it was just so cool to see, like so cool to see all of that respect. And I'm really happy he won, to be honest. But yeah, he was just doing a little better the whole time and he wasn't absorbing much damage. Like he wasn't really getting hurt, as I said. And I should have like known because I knew in my notes, I wrote down that like his reaction time was really good, especially for spinning leg kicks. So, you know, if you're good at dodging a spinning leg kick, you'll have an easier time dodging like a punch. I just think that it's easier to see a punch coming than to see a leg kick coming. But anyhow, Gene Silva won. Good for him. And the next fight, guys, the last fight, the main event, which went all 5 rounds. I didn't think it would. But it's a women's fight, so it is what it is. Rose Namajunas versus Tracy Cortez. As you guys know, I picked Rose Namajunas. Her footwork, as I said, is way better. I just think she's like a level above Tracy Cortez. You know, she's been around for a while. She looked really good against Amanda Ribas, who is also a good grappler. Probably better than Tracy Cortez, but I don't know. But yeah, won that fight. You know, did well against her, and I think Amanda Ribas's boxing is a little better than Tracy Cortez's, from what I'm remembering, if I'm not mistaken. But this whole time, like the whole entire 25 minutes, Rose was just a step ahead of Tracy Cortez. Tracy Cortez was too slow. Rose Namajunas is no Jasmine Jasudavicius. She's not going to stand in one spot. Her head's not going to be, you know, an easy target to hit. And so that's the thing. Rose is just way too dynamic, and she was the one getting takedowns against Tracy. We expected to see Tracy get more takedowns. Tracy, for some reason, was trying to do her best on the feet. She, like, towards round 3, attempted to get some really sloppy takedowns, but by that point, it was like, what are you doing? It's too late. And, like, she was throwing leg kicks that were super weak, like shin kicks that were barely doing anything. And I was like, that's not going to win you the fight. I'm sorry. I know you're trying, but I think she was just defeated at that point, to be honest. So anyhow, she lost. A lot of people had faith in her, but this kind of felt like a Yuri versus Alex situation in a way, not entirely, but like how people were thinking that Tracy Cortez was going to prevail here and look really good. But, you know, she wasn't super prepared. She was supposed to fight somebody else next week. And, you know, she barely made weight, had to cut off her hair to make weight. She was super emotional. I don't know. I just, you know, Rose Namajunas doesn't have long hair. Rose Namajunas shaves her hair, like buzzes it bald so that her hair doesn't get in the way. Tracy Cortez shows up to the fight with fake eyelashes. You know what I mean? Like, there's a clear difference in dedication here, I think. I'm sure Tracy Cortez is dedicated, but I also feel like Rose Namajunas is just on another level, and we saw that today. So, anyhow, guys, that will be all for my reaction today on this card. End it off, as I normally do, with my singing bowl outro. And I just want to say thank you again, everyone, for watching this video. And for those of you that came to my stream, thank you for joining me on my stream. And you know, I actually hear that next week's card is supposed to be worse than this week's card. I'm gonna bang the singing bowl extra hard in hopes that it isn't, because, you know, I want to be able to sit through it. But anyhow, that'll be all for today. And I hope you guys have a lovely day, evening, or night, wherever you are.